Ladies and gents, I'm the Rev, and this is the beginner's guide to Starpoint Gemini Warlords. Today we're going to be looking at the shipyard and the Drydock. Now, the ship you saw pull in, that is a Dreadnought. One of the highest tiered ships you can get in the game, and it does take a long time to get there. So, first, let's take a quick look at the shipyard. And basically, these are the starting ships that you can purchase at your home station. You can see it goes from 900,000, 9 million, and just cranks its way on up. Important things to keep in mind are, let's see, of course we have the class, a Corvette versus Dreadnought, rank. So you have to be a very specific rank to be able to fly the bigger and bigger ships. You have to be rank 22 to fly the Dreadnoughts. And then, of course, you're going to want to look at your hull, how much pounding you can take from other ships, cargo, how much stuff you can pick up, and then we've got our price. Now, you can trade things in, but you do not get anywhere close to the value. All right, so down here, you can see 65 million versus the 18 million, and this ship is fully outfitted as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Drydock is the screen that you go to work on your ship. First, you can repair your hull, rearm all of your heavy weapons. Next up, we have Loadout. And this is a quick way for you to quickly load your ship up. If you've got a lot of credits, you can just come right over here and you click on the light or heavy weapon that you want to replace, and then you pick what you want, and all you then have to do is hit mount, and it will subtract this amount. In this case, it'd be 1.1 million from my credits, and then whatever was here would just go into our Systems tab. The Systems tab is all of the systems that you have, heavy weapons, light weapons, your wings, things of that nature. So I wanted to make a point of showing you guys, we've got the Ripper 3, and that is the best railgun when you start at Concordia. And then when you've got the time and the money, the Severance 3, you can see it goes for the DPS of 210 up to 530. Now, something else that's very important that you will have to do is configure your turrets. Every new ship that you buy, you will have to put turrets on, and they have different values. So I currently have 5 on my front of my ship here. If we just drop it down -1, that's 125,000 a turret. Now they get more and more expensive as you go higher and higher up in ships, so they do not start at 125,000. Don't worry, it is a lot cheaper for the first ship and its turrets. Alright, heavy weapons are up next, and these are a single fire, just exactly what they say, a heavy weapon shot. And you've got, of course, all kinds of different choices. Most of the ships, when you first start out, come with a ion cannon up front here. But if you do not want to do that route and you want to use the research tab, which is what we use to get the Severance 3s, then you come all the way down, and it would be the Centennials, and I only went to the second level on this because as is, it's 7 million. And trying to put that much all around your ship gets very expensive. But that's how you set up the heavy weapons. Next is enhancements. Now, enhancements go on top of all of your heavy weapons and light weapons and all of your subsystems down here. The most important thing to remember when doing anything with enhancements, if you have one already on something, make sure you unmount it first. Otherwise, you just lose those credits. If you, let's say I went right here and I just mounted this on top of the what we currently have here, I would lose the 1.3 million, and just the 35,000 would go on that. So always make sure you unmount everything. When you sell your ship, unmount everything. So enhancements. So this is decked out a little bit more, and this should help you guys when you first get your ships. when it comes to the enhancements, because all of the enhancements that I chose work real well for you to start at a low level, then work your way up. So we've got battery energy recharge, which means your weapons can fire longer. And we're going here for our first light weapon. And the best of the best, of course, is the Syntha 3. But as you hit the second one, you can see we get even better battery recharge, and we get weapon range. Then battery recharge, weapon range is better. Then we get crit and critical damage. But again, as it stacks up, you get more stuff, it gets more expensive. But if you're going to be running a well-balanced ship that's capable of taking on almost anything and capturing ships, I would definitely use the Syntha for your light weapons. Now, heavy weapons, it's a little cheaper, not much. And I like going with the Chronos. You can see right here, first things first with me, I've always been a person that I like having my weapons mods or enhancements have weapon range on them, just for the simple fact, the sooner I can start shooting my enemy, that means the more damage before they can get to me. Plain and simple. So Chronos is only 20,000 credits, and it stacks very well. So we've got then 0.20 and hull damage on this second version, and the third is we've got the weapon range, hull damage, and additional EMP damage. So for your heavy weapons, that's what I like to choose. And again, it just depends on what you want to do and how you want to spend your credits. Then we start getting into some of the more fun things. Now, you're going to go, whoa, yeah, that's a lot there. And what I've got here is one of the researched enhancements. And normally, before you do that, because I did want to show you guys one, my recommendation is the OptiSoft. And the reason I like the OptiSoft when it comes to your shields is because it's a nice overall balance. Because as you're learning the game and you're going through, it takes a while to figure out what weapon systems everybody uses. So I like having a either blunt force heavy duty shield, or I like something that's balanced that has a lot of different resistances. And you can see here, energy resistance, projectile resistance, plasma resistance, and it just stacks right on up. Versus we go down here to the Halo, which is what is currently on that, and we just got blunt shield strength for the Halo 2, which is the second version, 20 million to put on your ship. And then we've got the shield recharge, which is how quickly your shield recharges. So you can see how well and how quickly the shield does here. And again, this is just a blunt force versus the OptiSoft, which is a more even mix. Now, the very first one you should put on your ship out of everything, make sure you save just a little bit when you start out, or if you don't have anything, the first chance you get, you're going to want to do propulsion, because that's going to make everything go faster. Plain and simple. And when it comes to propulsion, we do have the Maxima-To here, and this is the second one I want to show you guys for speed purposes. You can see we've got a 0.35 for speed, maneuverability, and power to engines charge up time. So that means when you're shooting off into subspace, it will charge your engines up faster for you to go. And normally, the Dynamo is the one that I would recommend when you first start out, and it is 60,000 to begin with, but you get 0.10 speed and maneuverability. You go to 2, it is 0.15s, and then 0.20s. Solid mod, solid enhancement, works very well. Transporter. So if you're going to be capturing ships, this is one that you also want to take and invest in. And you don't have to invest a huge amount, but it does affect your ability to capture ships. So I like going with the Watanabe, I can't even pronounce it. And we've got the protection from hack attempts and trooper readiness regeneration, so how quickly your troops get ready. And of course, from here to here, it bumps up, and we have trooper endurance. Of course, self-explanatory. and then the full one at 2 million. And you can see it's got a nice even thing here. Now that will help you capture ships better if you choose to use that. If you don't, there are of course all kinds of other different things that you can do, but that's what I would recommend to begin with when you're first starting out and you're trying to capture ships. Sensors, it is completely and utterly up to you whether you put a enhancement on them. I do not use them that much, just simply because I am more of a blunt style player where I hammer through everything. I did put one on here, the Prynet 3, and simply it'll just increase the radius, which is how far out around the ship it'll scan, and of course protection from hack attempts. And we'll see once everything's said and done, because we are still in early access, if other ships do try and hack us. And then of course chance to detect cloaked objects, so if there is a cloaked ship out there you might be able to get it. And when it comes to the grappler, this one is not nearly it's easy, and what I would recommend when you first start out, just get range, only 50,000. It'll help you so you can grab whatever you want. Distance wise, on here I have a nymph 3 just because of I like the range and a chance for the grappler to weaken shields of the grappled object. So if you are attacking a ship and it looks like you don't think you're going to win, good thing about having this is it might weaken the shield, so if you don't win capturing it, you can then destroy it. And a hangar is where you get your flights from, and if you have a hangar, that means you can have at least one wing. The carriers can have more. One wing is just one small group of fighters, and of course you have to buy those. And for this I did the Han 1 because actually the Han 1 is one of the better enhancements. I really like it. If you look at it, it's just flat out fighter damage, HP and damage absorb, fuel efficiency, refuel speed, and then it just gets brutal. Beyond that, it is completely up to you what you want to do. It's kind of a balance. You have to make a choice between fuel efficiency and refuel speed versus damage. I mean, they're all over the place, and by the time you get up to this point, you'll have an idea where you'll want your fighters to be. And just to show them here, I was saving something for the Systems tab. And the Systems tab, now if we had any systems such as light weapons, heavy weapons, or a wing, they would be over here. Wings, and all of these of course we already talked about, are down here, and they are set up by, you have an average damage per fighter and then how many fighters are in a group. So it is up to you, but when you buy a new ship, as you reach higher and higher levels, you will have to buy a wing. Next up is the Equipment tab, and the Equipment tab is all of the little buffs that we get to use. Of course, we have our T drive, and that will help you jump all kinds of places very quickly. And I will be doing a video a little bit later about how all of these actually work, because I don't want to make a video 45 minutes long. Most of them are very self-explanatory. You can go through and you can read them, but needless to say, you go into your Equipment tab here and you put what you want in whatever tab that you want.
Good luck.
And then down here in this right corner, you fire them off, and they do all have timers, so you can't just fire them. They do take time. But we've got everything from shield buffs to weapons platforms to, again, our T drives.
T-jump protocol engaged.
Which simply means anywhere within this circle, I can jump my ship. And I can go as far out as how many ever I have. If I had 100 of them, or not even that many, I could jump all the way to the very other side of the map if I wanted. And the final thing that you can do is customize your ship. Although personally, I don't customize a lot of them unless I'm doing a stream or something like that, just because I go through them so quick as I'm trying to rank up. But you use the right mouse button to spin your project so you can look at it from different angles. Right here are the different types of little stamps that you can put on. Here is where the colors are, so you can put any colors that basically, as you can see here, whatever these color schemes are, you can do it. Put them on. Now the ships that are all gray, kind of more blocky, those are the best to really decorate. These don't always quite look so good. You can see it might be a little difficult here, but if we wanted to, we could just put that ugly color right there, and now we've colored the center of our ship hot pink. And you can double up the stamps or anything else that you want. You can change the glossiness and the luminescence so we can have a raging hot pink, because that looks hot pink to me. Down here you can choose, and I misspelled that word, the name of your ship, and then when you're all done, all you have to do is hit apply. So there you go, folks. There is a quick rundown on how to use your Drydock and your garage screen. As always, I'm the Rev. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. Make sure you check out all the various playlists we have for Starpoint Gemini Warlords and Starpoint Gemini 2. There is a lot of content there and a lot of stuff for you guys to learn and have fun with. So please keep your heads down, your guns up, and I'll see you again real damn soon.